Samuel, Executive Director of NAIOP New Mexico, and this is
I'm Sal Perdomo, Chair of the Government Affairs Committee for NAIOP New Mexico.
a couple of weeks ago, we gave an update to everyone on what we're working on at the local, county, and state level on your behalf of the of NAIOP New Mexico. We represent all of the built environment. And so we're working pretty hard on a bunch of different things, and this is going to be a continuation of that first video. So starting at the local level with City of Albuquerque, Sal, what's going on with the IDO?
Yeah, so NAIOP New Mexico has been heavily involved in working through the zoning code amendments that come across our desk every 2 years. Right now, the amendments that were brought forward in 2025 were approved at the Planning Commission, went to the Land Use Planning and Zoning Committee, which is a subcommittee of the City Council, was reviewed and recommended to the City Council, and will be going to City Council on February 18th. Um, At the Land Use Planning and Zoning Committee, most of the amendments to the zoning code were brought forward for approval. There were several amendments that were stripped out and reworked and changed and removed. A lot of these amendments had to do with a lot of localized housing work that NAIOP was in support of. That included additional dwelling units, it included bodegas, it included some provisions around townhomes and single-family homes. NAIOP was in strong support of those. Those were stripped out at the Land Use Planning and Zoning Committee and are now going forward to City Council. We are of the impression and we believe that those amendments that were stripped out will now be brought back for review by City Council. So NAIOP will stay heavily involved in those discussions and in that advocacy work. Next, going up to the county level, as we mentioned last time, Bernalillo County and Commissioner Olivas brought forward a data center bill that would be harmful to data center development in Bernalillo County. NAIOP worked with our stakeholders, with city officials, with county officials to bring forward an all hands on deck meeting to share our concerns about this bill with Commissioner Olivas. After hearing our concerns and discussing with our group further, Commissioner Olivas decided to indefinitely defer that bill. And we are now in the process of working with him and working with our stakeholders to maybe rework the bill or share our concerns again so that we can protect that industry here in Bernalillo County.
Certainly, and data centers are one facet of the overall built environment. If you start putting these stipulations and making it far more difficult to do things, it could result in industrial being affected or manufacturing or just really any other sub asset type. So we want to make sure that we're paying attention on the front end of any sort of development regulation so we can make sure that it doesn't bleed over to anything else. Now, at the state level, there's three different bills I want to talk about today. And we're recording on Monday, what is it, the 9th, in the morning, so lots can change. In fact, we expect them to change this afternoon. But the first one is the property tax bill that we've been talking about. This would have put a cap on non-residential property tax evaluations. We went into the session with what we believe to be a really strong case for a 5% cap. We looked at inflation and the catch up that the assessor's affiliate wanted to achieve for properties being undervalued for a long time. So we felt that our number was based in fact and experience. And we went back and forth, and there just was some consternation still between the assessor's affiliate, the Association of Counties. And so, in consultation with our sponsors, as a reminder, we had Senator Padilla on the Senate side, and we had Representative Lundstrom on the House side. We've decided to take 2026 and create a working group to really flesh out the concerns from both parties, arrive at a number that is data backed, and then move forward in 2027. Although this was not the outcome we were hoping for this session, we feel, again, in consultation with our really strong sponsors, that this is the best course forward. Because not only, or if we passed it this year, we would also have to go to voters in November, which would have been an uphill climb. We were ready for it, but we believe that we're going to have a stronger positioning going into 27. There's another great bill that we're supportive of on the Senate side. It's Senate Bill 131 by Senator Mo Maestas. This bill does several things. Let me grab my notes. It's going to eliminate building height restrictions. It's going to allow apartments in commercial. It would allow duplexes and townhomes in R1 zoning. It would eliminate any references to minimum parking, and it would adjust the standing for appeals for any one development. This is really incredible what the senator is working on. And in fact, it's a lot of the work that we're doing here in the city of Albuquerque, but it's rolling it up to the state. There is some pushback from the municipal league again, concerned that it's going to supersede local home rule, or what that means is like a local jurisdiction's ability to say what can and can't happen in their area. That's going to have a hearing this afternoon, which is why I gave a date stamp to this video. We're going to be in strong support, NAIOP is. And again, we really thank the sponsor for bringing this forward. We're going to continue to sponsor, or we're going to continue to support him this year, knowing that these are regulations that are common sense, that are going to help in our housing crisis and our housing supply, and really will unhandcuff development across the state. Finishing on a high note, we are supportive of Senate Bill 92 by Senator Padilla again. What a powerhouse he is. What this would do would be a GRT reduction for the sale or construction of materials and labor used in the development of multifamily. So, as you're probably all hearing, the price to create housing is really high. And if we're trying to address this floating number, I've often heard 30,000 units shy, we need to look at every financial mechanism to, again, unhandcuff the industry to build up to what our communities need. This bill was wrapped into the tax package this past weekend. For those who aren't familiar with the process, whenever any individual tax bill is introduced, it's tabled in the Senate Tax Committee and then it's rolled into one tax bill, and then it moves through the rest of the legislative process. So the fact that it made it in is huge. NAIOP is going to continue to support this bill by Senator Padilla, and we're really hopeful we can get it through because it's, again, going to allow us to build more multifamily and address the crises that we're all seeing on our streets every day. So with that, NAIOP is working very hard. We're all going on all fronts. In fact, I was just in DC last week talking to our federal delegation. So we're here working on your behalf. If you hear of anything that you would like us to focus on, please email me, and we'd love to include it in our agenda. Sal, is there anything you'd like to add?
That's it, Rhiannon. Good overview. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for watching. We'll try and do another one of these in 2 to 3 weeks' time. I want to make sure that when we do it, we actually have an update for you all. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in a few weeks.